What's going on YouTube? So welcome again to another video. This time around I'm going to be installing the Taillight by RNG, and as you know, this is a must for the 701. It currently has that really big fender in the back with the license plates, totally unnecessary. So this style of Taillight kind of retains a kind of a stock look, so it's still, you can still use your turn signals, and it has a frame, but it's much more consolidated in a smaller area. So it also comes with its this specific kit for the 701 comes with its own tail light. So let's open it up, show you guys what we have here. So this one came from all the way from UK, so it took a little bit of time, maybe 2 weeks, but it's not too bad. Shipping was good. So here's the tail light that they include. Fits really nicely under the rear fender. I mean rear tail of the bike. So it's and you got some wiring, some heat shrinks, some wiring leads. It looks like it's a plug and play assembly. So I'm not expecting to have a lot of trouble installing this, but you never know. It's always the case that there's some surprise. And here's the bracket itself. Let me see. So I think this is on the bottom part. It goes like that to the undertail, and here's the main bracket. Okay, so here's the bracket. Very simple. The tail light will go right here, and your stock turn signals will just go right here, and this one bracket attaches to the body of the bike. So really clean, really nice quality. Very strong quality. It's actually really tough steel. So can't wait to see what the output, the final result would be after I install this. It's just the last thing that I need to change on the bike is this thing, and other than that, there's not much else that needs attention. So let's get started, and enough talk, and I want to get this done. So I have the seat off the bike now, so we can get started in taking this off to get access to the back of the fender. And we have to remove this part and the other panel too, just so we can have access to all the wiring if in any case. And here's the whole shot of the fender. Yeah, so it's pretty big back there, so we really don't want that anymore in the bike because it kind of ruins the look. So yeah, let's get started. So actually we only have to remove these bolts, and there's two under here on each side, and work on removing this bracket off this bike. So, and I think to remove this panel we have to remove the fuel cap as well, so I'll do that now. All just held on by clips. I don't know if you guys can see that. So it's just simple clips. Use a flathead or something. Alright, so it's tied by some zip tie here. So I'm just gonna cut this loose so I can work on the wires, the main harness, and these turn signals. And we want to retain the turn signals, so we have to remove the turn signals from here. Okay, so I'm taking it off these brackets. The bracket here. So okay, that's out. One of them's out. Make sure to retain them. Keep them together so you don't lose anything. Keeping all these together, even the nut too. There. So I forgot. There's first there's these bolts. There's this, and that's pretty much it. And I forgot to remove these. Also a T30. Okay, so now let's try to open this thing. Oh, there we go. And you have another plug here. So all the fenders is off. This is the main wiring harness. You got your brake light, turn signals, etc., etc. So with the bracket right here on my hand, I'm gonna be installing the turn signals on it first, so that once I have it on here, it'll be much easier. All right, so I just thought that I would bring you guys along while I'm assembling this thing. So I have put on the tail light, the turn signals already, And I have the wiring harnesses here. Let's see. Oh, got some stickers and the instructions manual. So, okay. So at this point, sorry about the mess, guys. So at this point, I'll be fitting the tail light that came with the kit. Let's open this up. This should go right through here. And this is this way. And we'll remove these. So once I got the bracket assembled here with the lights, I have a button head screw that comes with the kit and some washer. So I'm just gonna pre-install it here so that I don't have to hold this thing. It's much easier to work on the wires. And at the top of the tail light here, they give you like a rubber strip so that when the fairing sits on it, there's some rubber cushioning, foam cushioning, not rubber. So at this point, I got all the screws semi-tightened. I still haven't put the bumper strip in here just so because I'm not sure how that goes on yet. But right now I'm working on the wiring, which I hate. So they supplied you with a lot of ready to plug in wiring, so you don't really have to do a lot of things. So you have a 3 plug on the tail light here, and it fits perfectly with this, and just match the wiring. And you have turn signal wiring. Really nice kit. They give you, all you have to do is crimp it in these things, and you're good to go. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Let's start with the turn signal since that's the easiest. Actually, you know what? Scratch that. Since I'm using the stock turn signals, I don't need to use the turn signal wiring. I just need to use the tail light because the tail light is not stock. So that's the one I need to use for these. So my mistake. So instead of crimping it directly to the wire loom here, let me show you guys. So instead of completely crimping it here and crushing that, I got these connectors, button head connectors. And with this, I can just simply insert it in here and not create any permanent wiring. So in case I have to swap these wires, I always mix them up, which is the part that I hate about doing wiring. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. So I'm gonna be putting the button heads on each of these wires so that I could easily swap them out to another connector if they actually do not work. So, all right, YouTube. So I can't express how much I hate wiring. I keep telling you guys over my videos, even on the DRZ, I really hate wiring. So here is the wiring now. I used the 3-piece wire loom that they provided, and since I retained my turn signals, they have these plugs already, and it just plugs back into the stock wiring harness. So you don't have to worry about that. The only confusion is getting the brake light, and since this is an all-in-one, the stock Fender has a different light, so a separate light from the tail light. So you have to use this wire to light the license plate light. But this one is an all-in-one. So there's 3 wires that goes out of here. I put button head what do you call this connectors on the end of it, so it plugs in. I can unplug it later if I want to. And I figured out that this is the right combination. So so you guess this is the stock wiring harness. Is yellow, brown, green. And for the RNG, it's going to be red, black, and yellow. So yellow goes to the green, black goes to the brown, and red goes to the yellow. So now we're going to test it. Turn on the bike. So you can see the tail light comes on. And I'm going to press the left turn signal first. Works. Oh, left, yes, and right also works. And then we're going to press the brake. Yeah, so that's what you want. And we'll press the rear brake. There you go. So now it's working. I made sure that when I press the turn signal, it points the right way. Sometimes I swap them out and by mistake, and that's why I hate wiring. So now that's I think for me that's the hard part. The hard part of this whole thing. So now I have to figure out how to arrange these wires so that I can zip tie them together and they're not gonna be in the way when I close the what do you call this, the the body work here. So I think I can fit them all in this section here and just kind of wrap them. Um, but I'm afraid that water would get in there. I don't know if they provided any special covering that I could use to prevent any water or something like that from going there, but I don't think so. So let me double check here. Yeah, so I'm afraid that is it. So I need to try my best to fold these wires and see what the best organization I can make it. So I think I'm just gonna go and bundle them up. All right, so I'm gonna measure how much of the foam I need. So then I'm gonna cut it and put it over here. Maybe I should just protect it from, I think it's just so it protects it from any vibration if it hits the rear bodywork here. Okay, so for now, I'm gonna leave it like this until I figure out a good way to cover this assembly here. But I'm gonna zip tie them. I'm gonna zip tie the whole bunch together so that they don't. So they're pretty secure. They're not gonna move or anything like that. It's just this is probably what I won't like about this kit. It's just it's so bare and exposed. But at the same time, I'm not really riding this bike in like bad weather or anything like that. So I don't really mind this situation. It's just that for other people, it might be a deal breaker because it is exposed. So just keep that in mind. Okay, so we got the bunch right here. We're gonna try it one more time, make sure I didn't mess it up. All right. Okay, so let's close it up. All right, YouTube. So we're finally done. Let me give you guys a better view of the tail tidy. So there it is. Very sleek. I think it is the best looking one, unless, I mean, subjective. They have one that's more sleek. It's just one light that goes in here, so it integrates the turn signals on it as well. But I think for me, this is like, it still keeps the stock form in a way, still functional. But at the same time, cleaning it up at the same, back here is all, you can see more of the exhaust and you can see more of the tire now. It's much nicer. Here's my attempt at showing you guys the final result, all buttoned up. I guess you could say it is much nicer than the big Fender right here. Let me grab that for you, comparison. So that whole thing was hanging out like all the way right here. So now all you have is this, couple screws there. You can see everything, much nicer overall. As you can see here, much nicer. All right.